Hey guys, this is Josh from Iron Inc. and today we're starting a new series. We're doing a video game series, the NCAA Next mod. This is NCAA '06 revamped, edited with mods. The guys on this project did a fantastic job, and we're taking over the University of Iowa. And we are using Coach Declan Doyle, who's the offensive coordinator of the Ravens, former offensive coordinator of the Bears, and he has ties to the University of Iowa. It's unlikely he becomes the next coach after Kirk Ferentz in real life. However, that is still uncertain for the future, and this would be an ideal guy to take over the University of Iowa. He has head coach interest in the future. However, he is graduated from the University of Iowa. He's worked as an offensive assistant. His dad was also the strength coach, so he has ties to the University of Iowa. We're going to be running a pro style offense. We're going to be using the offensive style West Coast, a 4-2-5 defense, and we're going to be slightly run heavy. So let's look at the top 25 here. We are going to be Simmons Season 1, however, we're going to go over it in Episode 1. In Episode 2, we're going to recap the season and the offseason. The top 10, we have Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, LSU, Alabama, Oregon, and Miami. Iowa State is number 23, our rival, and the Hawkeyes are 31. Looking at the toughest places to play, Tiger Stadium's number 1, Beaver Stadium, Penn State is number 2, Ohio Stadium for Ohio State is number 3, Georgia Stadium is number 4, and 5 is Bryant-Denny Stadium, Alabama. Kinnick Stadium is number 19, and if you've ever been to a game there, you know how loud the stadium can get, and hopefully we can have this raise up the rankings. Let's look at the conference outlook for our Iowa Hawkeyes. Penn State, the Nittany Lions are 1, Ohio State 2, Oregon 3, Michigan 4, Indiana 5, Illinois 6, USC 7, and Iowa coming in at the middle of the pack at 8. So we're going to have to improve this if we want to bring a national championship home to Iowa. Let's look at the roster here for University of Iowa. Keep in mind we're going to be sim in year 1, quarterback room. Mark Gronowski is going to be the starter, and I don't see a good, competent guy that can come in next year and take over. Hank Brown is a 71 overall. However, he's going to have to really improve to take over the starter for next year, so we might have to bring in a transfer. Running back, Kamari Malton, 78 overall. A really good running back in real life. His overall, in my opinion, is a little higher, but a pretty good running back room with Patterson, Washington, and Dahl backing him up. Fullback, Hayden Large. Iowa always needs a fullback, and we got one here. Wide receiver room, we don't have anyone of the 80 overall, and we have more possession guys. We have Jacob Gill and Caden Weegan as the 1 and 2 guys, and then we have kind of a bunch of guys here that are kind of MAC quality rounded out. Ostranger, 85 overall, followed by 4 60 overall tight ends. However, he's going to be a big part of the offense. Offensive tackle, Jennings Dunker, 90 overall, followed by starting right tackle Will Nolan, who's only a freshman, 72 overall, with some backups in the 70s and 60s on the offensive tackle. Offensive guard, Bo Stevens and Caden Piper will be holding it down on the inside. And at center, Logan Jones, who went to Chicago Bears in real life, is a 93 overall, and he'll be a senior at the center position. Now the defense, Ethan Herkett and Max Lewan, 2 seniors. However, we're looking for Kenneth Merriweather and Epinesa, who is a big freshman addition from Illinois, to take over for them after they graduate. Defensive tackle Aaron Graves, another senior. This is an upper class heavy roster. Is 86 overall, followed by upper class backups behind him in the 70s. 2 outside linebackers for Iowa are in the 80s, followed by 2 backups, 74 overall, and Preston Reeves, 72 overall. Middle linebacker, Jaden Harrell, 79. Middle linebacker is such an important position. The quarterback of the defense, 79 overall, senior, and 78 overall, junior. And then cornerback needs work. They have some depth here, but overall, a lot of upperclassmen, and it needs a lot of work in the offseason. TJ Hall, the 80 overall. Lee on the other side, 78, but then it drops to Watson, 71. Barrow, 70. Godfrey Jr. at 70. and Tegan Davis, who retired in real life. However, he's still here in this fictional universe at 67. Free safety Xavier Nwampa, 88 overall. Hudkins, the sophomore, 76. Kalarick, the junior, at 72. A stringer, who transferred to Louisville in real life, 81. Lutmer is a 72, and McBride is a 70. And the two most important positions for Iowa, the kicker, Drew Stevens at 96, and the punter, Reese Dankin, 96 as well. In-season recruiting, I'm trying to keep this lore accurate. I'm trying to keep to the pipelines and recruit similar to Iowa does in real life. However, I'm going to have some leeway for some positions like tight ends and linebackers and maybe receiver, just because Iowa's always good at recruiting tight ends. They're always good at recruiting linebacker and linemen. And then for receivers, we're going to have to go a little bit outside the box to get some guys. These are our targets for in-season. PJ Roberts from Massachusetts, a 4-star. Peak, the quarterback from Maryland, a 4-star. Nathaniel Kelly, an offensive center, a 4-star from Addison, Illinois, a pipeline. Joe Perry from Florida, a pipeline, 4-star. Jalen Smith, a 4-star from Missouri, in the pipeline. Jeff Thatcher, a defensive end from Michigan, in the pipeline. Giovanni Buchanan, a defensive end from Illinois, a big 6'6" guy in the pipeline. Baron Hall, running back from Florida, in the pipeline. Hopefully we could get this guy similar to Johnson, the running back that they had from Florida. Zach Pike, a wide receiver from Texas, kind of going outside the box to get a wide receiver. And defensive end, we still got to get an Iowa guy on here, even though there weren't many available. Liam Monroe from Pella, Iowa. This is what Iowa's schedule looks like before we simulate Season 1. Eastern Illinois, Week 1. Then the Cy-Hawk game versus number 23, Iowa State. Then Western Illinois comes to Iowa. Michigan State comes to Iowa Kinnick Stadium. At Rutgers, at UCLA, at USC. That's going to be a tough stretch, going from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. Then Wisconsin comes to Iowa. At number 15, Michigan. Northwestern comes to Kinnick. We have a bye week. Washington comes to Kinnick. Another bye week. Then that big rivalry game against Nebraska. Overall, we only have 2 ranked opponents, so I think this is favorable for Iowa. Hopefully we can win 8 games, but we know that we don't want to be a consistent 8-win team like in real life. We want to eventually bring home a national championship. And that's going to do it for episode 1. So for episode 2, I'm going to be simulating and doing the off season, and then we'll be getting into the games. This mod is fantastic. It runs beautifully on my PC. It looks great. The guys did a fantastic job with this. If you guys are excited, make sure you guys comment down below. The next video will be coming out soon. Make sure you guys subscribe to Iron Ink, bodybuilding, collectibles, my training, and now this NCAA Next series. Make sure you guys subscribe, and peace.